in the vast world of Warframe, we've been fortunate enough to see angry Warframes, to see the aggressive ones. We have seen priests, we have seen different shapes, different sizes, and different designs. But today on Warframe Explained, we will be seeing crazy. And I know, it sounds a little bit crazy. Today's lore is about one who is arguably the craziest and the almost lunatic Warframe ever created. Mirage, her mistress of light and illusions, was one of the most gifted soldiers within the Orcan Empire. And based on the in-game lore that we were given, her personality is quite witty, funny, she doesn't care, and some might even call her crazy. And this perhaps is why she was recruited in the first place. Within the quest Hidden Messages, we came across an old beacon, an ancient Orcan artifact that is both beautiful yet puzzling. Mirage was described in that artifact as a beautiful lady who was funny. She loved to sing all the time, and they even said her voice was so pretty she was able to lure in any man she wanted. That was crazy to the point where their wives even consider it as a loss. Within this parable of a quest, Margulis remembered the last act of her friend Mirage. It was during the Old War, ships and machines were punching through space, it was an all-out battle and the sky turned red. Within the massive conflict, Mirage stood, there she was. She was a menace to the Sentients. She became an entity of both light, energy, and heat. She became the very definition of the arcane. She turned and began to fire. Hands and feet, guns blazing, glistening lights shined all around her. This Warframe was in sync, and everyone could testify that she was the best on the battlefield. Her battle was almost won until she was surrounded by a wave of sentients. The sentients realized the power of illusion in shaping the fabric of their own reality. And with Mirage on the charge, they believe that their chances of winning are very small. Within seconds, the sentients swarmed her like a plague. But she would not surrender. She would never give up. Mirage would never see a defeat, and she continued to fight on even as her shields began to deplete and begin to fade. And within minutes, the sentients began to crash down on her in overwhelming numbers. Lotus realized that Mirage was out of energy and called her to retreat, but she would not listen. Mirage looked at Lotus and started laughing. She turned around and kept fighting, tearing off the heads of the sentients. As the swarm got bigger, Mirage would not stop, she kept going. The Lotus shouted for Mirage, telling her that there is another ship on the way. Still, Mirage turned around and kept fighting. She would not listen because she knew the truth. And at that moment, it was as if she knew it would be her last battle. She turned around and took one glance at her friend Margulis. The light was bright, the heat was intense, and in her last words she looked to her friend Margulis and said, "Do not mourn and do not hold in you the feeling of despair." And alas, she disintegrates on the battlefield. Mirage went house swinging.